The actual mistake came from the user, not from the LLM. The user told the LLM something wrong and the LLM just agreed with it.
The Weekly Friedman, your source for the most essential information in the default industry. With your host, Adam Friedman.
Our fourth hallucination type is hallucination by agreement. You want to walk us through that one?
LLMs in general, they are very much prone to agree with you on whatever you say. The big LLM providers have tried to tone it down, and there are ways to go in and tell it to argue with you and not agree with everything. But right out of the box, they're pretty good at agreeing with you. If I went to my favorite LLM and said, hey, I am doing a foreclosure in Massachusetts, it's non-judicial, right? There's a very good chance the LLM will come back and say, yes, you're right. It's non-judicial because Massachusetts is a non-judicial. Now, there is a step before you start it that you have to go through the court. That's why we call it quasi-judicial. So you have to file one document with land court. But the LLM could easily agree with what you said, and then you walk away and you feel like, okay, the LLM agreed with me. Obviously, I'm right. When you tell the LLM things, when you explain things, when you do the back and forth, you have to be very careful. You're not telling the LLM what to tell you back.
Can you fix or minimize this issue? For the LLMs that I use, like I've given it extensive instructions, not only on how I want to do things or the way I like to speak or the way I like to operate, but also to question me a lot and challenge me. Because who wants an LLM that agrees with you? Like, what's the point? You're there to learn stuff, not to be told you're right. You can tell yourself you're right. Do you think that's something that could be embedded in there that you could work on?
Yes. And I think the tools are exactly what you said. Now, again, like we said before, none of these tools and steps are going to 100% fix this problem. You're always going to have something happening like this. But yes, you need to go in and actively tell the LLM, hey, don't agree with me. Don't just take my word for things. Every time you have anything that's unverified that you cannot verify with a third party, let me know it's unverified. Argue with me, play a devil's advocate. But you have to actively go and do that because it doesn't come out of the box like that. I think the other thing is, this is where getting another set of eyes helps. Getting somebody else to look at your filings, at your determinations, at your assertions would help, because the LLM sometimes is not going to do a good job at looking at what you say and going, no, you're wrong, what the case implies. The problem with this one is the actual mistake came from the user, not from the LLM. The user told the LLM something wrong and the LLM just agreed with it. That's very hard to catch if you're just doing a training for the LLM. How much do you give the LLM independence to say no, and how much do you tone down the psychophancy of the model?
Do you think using the word right was the problem there? If you had said, is this state non-judicial? Do you think you're going to get a lower likelihood of the LLM agreeing with you out of habit?
100%. And you've worked with enough LLMs to know that sometimes, single word, a single phrasing of a sentence, a single way you just rearranging the sentences will give you a very different answer, because the LLM reads it differently and understands it differently and goes down a different path when it answers you. So yes, I think if you go in looking for confirmation, LLMs are the best place to go. They will agree with you on literally everything unless you told them specifically not to. So this is on the user to be very careful about injecting their own opinions, about injecting their own thoughts or their own understandings, especially if it comes down to something that you cannot back up, that it's just, I believe this, but I don't know. It all goes back to what you said. Put in the time, find the facts. Find the actual substantial facts that support everything you're saying, everything you're putting in, everything you're writing, everything you're filing.
Stay tuned to our channel for part 5 of this conversation, coming soon.